the fastest, quickest, smoothest footwork. He's the Fred Astaire of jiu-jitsu, the Fred Astaire of judo, but he's the Dom DeLuise of pizza eating. I don't get it. I don't get this.
Everybody wake up. Time to wake up. Time to start the day. Wake up late with Dougie. He is the only way. Wake up late. Now everybody. Wake up late. Everybody. Wake up late. Wake up late. Wake up. Wake up late with Dougie. Wake up late with Dougie. Wake up late with Dougie. It's time to wake up. Wake up late with Dougie. What rhymes with Dougie? He's just so funny. It's the Wake Up Late with Dougie show. Live from Danger Studios. Chorus praising, now you know. We're the hottest show in this place. Wake up late, now everybody. Wake up late, now everybody. Wake up late, now everybody. I said 1, 2, 3. Everybody wake up.
Live from Danger Studios in Coral Springs, Florida, it's the Wake Up Late with Dougie show. Starring Dougie Almeida. Now, let's start the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Late with Dougie show, live here from Danger Studios in South Florida. I'm so happy. There we go. I am so happy to have this show today and this whole new way we do it on the Wake Up Late with Dougie show, because not only do I get some of the comics now from Florida, now I'm getting entertainers from all over the country. So let me introduce us to tonight's lineup. First, as he just ran in from beating the shit out of somebody, martial artist and movie star Vince Cecere. What's up, my friend?
How you doing, guys? How are you? Big Doug.
What's up, my friend? And of course, comedian, radio host, personality, and good friend Dustin Chafin is here on the Wake Up Late.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
You know.
How's my blue screen?
Looks good.
You're good, buddy.
I got a blue screen. I put a hair wrap on. Can it got that? It's there, no? Yeah.
It's the universe, baby.
I love the crown moldings.
You had a choice, or I could give you Salvatore Dali, whatever you want, buddy. Make it.
Yeah, well, I think that's Van Gogh, but never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't that's a Van Gogh? I think.
Listen, I'm from the Bronx. What do I look like? A phoneticist to you? I know about artwork. Give me a break.
Well, I'm sure as hell not going to tell you you're wrong, my friend. You guys are from two different parts of the country. Well, Dustin, you normally lives in New York City, and he found a way.
Still there.
He's, for all intents and purposes, let's say he's still there. And Vince, you're in LA. You're in Hollywood. Where are you at?
Right, Los Angeles. Yeah.
In Los Angeles. So you guys are in two of the states in this country that people are leaving in droves, running for their life from.
Okay, Florida, calm it down. Yeah, they're leaving Florida too, buddy.
Well, I don't know if I've made the announcement yet on the show, but my wife has helped me determine that we are leaving Florida by next year.
Okay.
We are moving probably to the North Carolina area.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, we're looking for a house on a lake. You know what I mean?
Smart.
And a nice little
I
yard.
just got cursed out by an Amish person. They said, "What are you guys doing? We've tried to keep this place clear for all this time. Now everybody's moving there."
Oh yeah. Where's in where Maryland?
Amish country.
That's not L.A. Where is that?
Wherever there's cows and no cars and those guys with the hats and the little buggies and they all had it right. We're the fools. They got it right.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
I always wish I had an Amish's electric bill. Anyway, welcome to the show, guys. This is the Wake Up Late with Dougie show, where, considering the world we live in, everybody should get some sleep and sleep in and don't wake up early. Anyway, guys, welcome. Aside from that, everybody's good. I mean, COVID, everybody's good. Everybody's healthy.
Yeah, I think I'm healthy. I mean, mentally, this thing really takes a toll. It's like that's what people don't talk about enough of. You know what I mean? As a comic, it's like I feel like this must be how prostitutes felt, during the AIDS crisis. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Zoom shows are like the new Handy Under the Bridge. Like it's almost the same thing. Like we're just hanging on.
That's a great point, because that was a terrible period of time, the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how when you look at somebody and think you could see AIDS on them? your test was you would actually look at them and go, does this person look like they have AIDS?
COVID's a little more of a mystery.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a little sniffle, a little, what was that? Vince, in the acting world, obviously things are on hold, with this whole thing. So it's a bit rough.
Oh my God. Well, I had an audition for a COVID commercial.
Yeah.
Here's the new rules. Ready? You got to go take pictures of your whole house to see if they want to come shoot there. Put yourself on self-tape. And then you got to go get a COVID test. And your COVID test better come out negative. Then you got to send that in. Then you read the script, do your read, self-tape it, send all that in. If they decide to use you, you got to sign a waiver. Says if you catch COVID from any of the crew coming to your house, you don't have a choice. I said, hey, what's the difference? If we're signing a waiver, why do we need the negative? Nothing makes any sense at all. Anyway, you can't read unless you go through all those hoops before you can even read for the part for one of the leads in the new COVID commercial.
Oh, well, that's why it's good to have antibodies. I'm on my antibody comedy tour. So that antibody test just kind of pushes me right through that. But
you can get it again though, right?
Well, that's why I'm going to take the test again. I'm going to keep giving myself a 90-day little buffer.
What was it like, man? I mean, was it like, could you not breathe and shit? Like,
no,
how bad was it?
It was horrible. My wife and I were stuck together for 2 weeks. No, it was, we were lucky. We were asymptomatic, lost my sense of smell.
Really?
Which is good. I was doing a gig in Wichita, and the opening act actually was doing ass eating jokes. So I actually did my COVID. First 5 minutes. Where do we go from here?
We're talking about a setup. Holy shit.
Yeah. So of course I come out and I go, I was worried about the material I was going to use. And then I said, of course I had COVID. And one of the symptoms was I couldn't smell. I lost my sense of smell, which I guess if you're an ass eater is a good thing.
There you go.
And kind of put it all together.
That's why I like watching your show, Doug. The informative material that the kids can take home and learn from.
That's right.
That's right. The kids.
It's better than homeschooling right here.
It's crazy. Now let's say we all know each other. Now, Vince, you and I know each other from a longer time ago. I
was just talking about that with someone.
Yeah.
How long I know you.
Yeah, I would go to this gym next to this pub, and it was in the mid '90s sometime, and I would go there and hang out, and you were there, and this dude was always this guy. You thought he was a professional wrestler. This guy, he was just a beast. I remember you drove a white Cadillac.
Well, I'm Italian in the '80s. A lot of us drove white Cadillacs down there. I had about 4 Coupe de Villes.
Nice.
I had the Sedan DeVille. You like the Sedan or the Bronx? I like the Bronx.
For years my father wanted to get a Lincoln, because he worked for Ford, so he always wanted a Lincoln Mark IV. He preferred the Lincolns. Remember the Lincoln Continental? Remember the Lincoln Continental Mark III, where they had the doors that opened up, suicide doors?
Oh, that's nice.
That's a
bad. They had the fins on the side, the little gills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the Lincoln car with the canvas top, which I always thought was confusing. Like it was made to look like a convertible, but it wasn't. Like that's the silliest thing.
The Cadillac had that too. The Barrettes.
Why is that there? Why is it there? It's so ridiculous. That was the '80s.
That was the second best idea. That came second to the putting the wood paneling on the side of a car.
A lot of cocaine back then. Yeah.
Doug, I had one of those station wagons.
Yeah.
They had that wood paneling side that still put the sticky side, and it wasn't real wood, and then it was like an old Oldsmobile. I remember, and I was doing a show on off A Street and down in Miami by the News Cafe. There was an old French hotel, and we were doing murder mystery shows down there. And I had to get on some sort of thing to go to what is it? The island you have over there that you got to take a cruise, a little ship. They put you on a ferry.
Oh, like
guys, you got the big mansions there.
Star Island.
What? Yeah, not Star Island, but the other one. The guy's name. Anyway, we got on that, and that salt water eats up your car and just rips up all the stuff off the side. I had a giant hole in my car. So I got off the boat and I looked at the guy and I go, you know, you people really should give me some compensation. He goes, what? I said, look what the salt the water did to my wood. The whole car disintegrated here one ride.
The boat from Jaws.
Hey, you're doing comedy for $35 a night. You better get something.
Oh my God! Well, good luck with that. It's nuts, but of course. And if you recognize Vince, he was the hitman in Analyze This, the first movie. And I hadn't seen you in a long time. My girl and I were watching this movie, and big Billy Crystal fan. And watch it. All of a sudden, I see Vince. I go, "What the fuck?" It's like, one of those moments, like, "What the fuck? That's him." My wife's like, "I know that fucking guy." I mean, he doesn't really know me that well, but I think I know him. And it was one of those moments. That was awesome shit. I got to work with De Niro. It
was a good shoot. It was on my birthday. I got to my birthday. I got the trailer next to De Niro, and I got to work with Hal Ramis, rest in peace. And Billy Crystal, and there was only the four of us there that day. It was very few doing that scene we did.
They filmed that in Miami?
Joe Vitarelli. Yeah, that was the Bal Harbor Sheraton Hotel. I took the header off.
Yeah. Well, that was. Did you do it, or did you get a stunt guy to fly?
He wouldn't let me do it, man. I wanted to do it. I wanted to take that fall. First off, I always wanted to jump into one of them airbags, I did. I always wanted to do a high fall. And they're talking about it. You want to know the truth is, when we did that scene, the fight scene, when I went through the glass, they're sitting around, and Joe Vitarelli, if you remember, the guy was, he was at that time 70 years old. He was about 270 pounds. He had a glass eye and emphysema, okay?
Yeah.
And he liked to have a couple of cocktails in the morning before the shoot. So we go do that shoot, and he says, we're going to do a fight scene. And Joe starts telling me, now listen, this is what we're going to do. If I put my hands on you, this is what I would do to you. I like, hey, Joe, you're 270 pounds. You got a glass eye. You're half in a bag. If anybody was going out this window, it'd be you, pal. Relax. Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't get away with
it. That's the thing. It's fun. Like, it's always been said, and now Dustin trains. Dustin actually trains. Now, you are a jiu-jitsu master, right? Vince, you've reached the 9th level. Is that what I'm?
I'm a practitioner of jiu-jitsu.
Gotcha. Me too. I've got my, and then of course Dustin trains. There's a lot of comics.
I boxed from probably age 5 to about 17, and then came back a little bit later in life.
And you're in
my
New
whole
York?
family boxed, all Golden Gloves, Texas.
In New York?
Texas Golden Gloves. Yeah.
Okay.
Out of Wichita Falls, Texas.
Who's a better boxer, Texas boxer or New York City boxer?
New York City, come on, man. All those guys came from New York. Mike Tyson, come on, man. He's technically New York.
You always see the guy from Texas really struggling for them hooks and then eating them those counterpunches right in the face. The guy from Texas. Like,
I put my money on New York. That's why I live there. Come on.
And the brother from New York's like,
yeah, I'm barely Texan. Yeah, like I left a long time ago.
But we all know because we've been in the ring with people, but it's not the professional that hurts you. Like if you're doing a scene, Vince, and you're doing a fight scene. Like I know from what I already know of you, if you were going to do a fight scene, I would have a lot of faith and trust. I would just say, go ahead and try to punch me. You know what I mean? And I would, you know what I mean? I better get out of the way. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you to slow down or, but the people that hurt you are the white belts in the room, the amateurs. When you pair off in a class and you got to be there with Billy, who's just got his yellow belt and he's all excited and he tries to throw a roundhouse kick and kicks you right in the nuts.
My favorite is when I hear about all these Hollywood stories. I think there was one with Stallone and Mickey Rourke were in a movie together. I forget what it was called, Collateral or something. And I guess Mickey broke his ribs. Like it was just like the first shot or whatever. And then Mickey just, crazy Mickey Rourke, who was a decent boxer actually.
Yeah.
But he would smoke in between rounds. That's the kind of boxer he was. He's like smoking buds, doing lines, and then getting back in the ring. But he broke like Stallone's ribs. The first scene, he's like, pop, pop, pop. Went crazy on him. It was hilarious.
I think I saw Mickey Rourke fight at the War Memorial, I think, at Fort Lauderdale. Or the
Really? How old was he? He fought late, man.
Yeah, he
came in Talarino.
Yeah, he came in. There's another boxer out of you would know him. It was my brother. Who was the family was electricians. Trematera, Pete Trematera out of South Florida. I don't know if you know him, Vince. professional boxer.
You had a kid that was, I thought he had a father at a construction business or something. The kid was a pretty good fighter.
Yeah.
And he got the kid a gym or something. I remember him giving him a boxing gym or something.
Yeah, exactly right. And then he ended up being a judge for a lot of fights. Ended up being a well-known judge, which is always interesting. Do you think we're reaching an age? One of our topics today, by the way, is you guys, again, one is in New York, one's in LA. You got craziness. I just added a tag to one of my jokes that my wife bought me a MAGA hat and an All Lives Matter shirt to wear in Portland, to wear as I go visit Portland.
It just depends on the neighborhood. Yeah. It's like you just switch. Like, okay. Yeah.
My wife wants me to die. Why? She bought me an All Lives Matter shirt and a Trump hat. You're out of New York now. You're not in any hurry to go back, right, Dustin? I mean,
well, we're going back. We've been here since June, like 15th or so, and we're in Bethel, Maine, and in mountains, and it's beautiful here. It's nice to be in nature and stuff. You forget how much, but I do miss the city, and I love New York, and we're gonna go back and feel it out. I might actually get out to California. At least I feel like you can drive in your car and stuff. I'm not crazy about the public transportation and all that stuff, but that's what I don't miss about New York and the homeless population and stuff right on top of you. But I know California is just as bad with that stuff, but yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I hear it's edgy. Like, I don't think I would go out after 11 or something. I mean, I got a crossbow, you know what I mean? It's the end of the world. Yeah.
Now, even a guy like you, Vince, you're who's going to really come up to you and mug you? You know what I mean? The guy's going to run up and go, I'm going to take this guy's wallet.
You never know, man.
There's a lot. The thing is, you got a lot of the homeless community, and if you're down there amongst the homeless community and you're out at certain hours at night, yeah, I could see maybe you running into some trouble.
Yeah, just got to be smart.
Yeah, but there's no. Come on, man. It's if you've been in New York, you're from New York, you can go anywhere. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm good with it. I just, it's a different time.
Yeah.
It's not. You can't be as casual as you were before. Especially as comics, we come home 2-3 o'clock in the morning on the subway doing spots around the city. That stuff's going to change. I don't even think they're open after the subway's closed at like midnight.
Well, the Bellagio. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Vince.
I was just talking with Mike Marino because he said last night he's up in Jersey and he's locked down. He goes, Vin, I can't wait till we can just go back and hang at the Comedy Store backstage and just hang out and go do sets and see all the fellas and and going through all of these things from the store and the Laugh Factory, and it's like you forget. You used to just pop over the hill, do your set at the store, come back home. You're home in 20 minutes or something. Those days are gone. Now you gotta.
Yeah, that's a whole different world. And we'll see though. But New York, De Blasio's getting a lot of heat.
Oh God.
We owe Dinkins an apology.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a new low.
Yeah, it's the worst. Cuomo's not bad, but fucking De Blasio's terrible, man.
I really thought Cuomo by now would have just got him, just pulled him out of there.
I don't know. If he could, he probably would. I don't know if he legally can, but
yeah. That guy's just. I mean, he looks like a Muppet. He just really. It's just scary. It comes down to it. No matter what government it is or what administration, do you even trust government anymore? I've almost gotten given to the point where we are going to be in a lawless situation for the next decade, and I think we all got to keep our heads up, like you're saying. Which is good for martial arts schools, right, Vince?
Well, if they allow you to open.
Exactly.
No
You're on Zoom, You
can't
I had a virtual Zoom fight. I mailed the guy a left hook. I sent it, but I got 1G. He'll get it next week. He doesn't know he's been knocked out
yet. Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just nervous about it. I've been telling people to be cool. By the way, here's a little topic of the day. KFC drops finger-licking good slogan. Says it's not a good thing to have during the time of COVID. You guys have anything you'd like to replace the KFC slogan with? It's finger-licking good. Anybody? Anybody have a slogan?
Go ahead, Dustin.
Gloves licking good. That might be one. Nobody touched it. and Popeyes is better. Those are my three.
There's not a Popeyes in the area.
It's way better, brother.
That's good. I have a simple one because it's the truth. They say the truth. If there's truth in advertising, it works. Instead of finger looking good, gives me the rumbles. It does. That and Fuddruckers, two bad ones.
Fuddruckers. It's so Florida. It's so Florida.
It was a Florida place, right?
Yeah, huge Florida place.
It was great though. There was a hamburger place where you could get a big old piece of meat and put all kinds of shit on it. You know, jalapenos, cheese, the melted ones, all kinds of stuff, man.
It's like a salad.
I got mine.
Yeah.
Mine is kiss my ass. I'm using indigenous chickens. We don't got to apologize to nobody. We've been here for 1,000 years. I got one of the first chickens that was here from the Aztecs. It's even got a little helmet on it, like a little thing. That chicken claimed its rights all the way back. It can say whatever it wants. It's no racism. I saw a rooster the other day, a red rooster giving it crap, and I told him, you can't say nothing. He's an original. He's an original finger-licking good chicken. You can't say a word to him. You want to take it off the bucket, that's fine. You people cow down. But this guy's royalty.
All right. in that town, that
you went for it. I appreciate that.
No, I'm a politician. I'm making a lot of sense, aren't I?
Yes, man.
I'm running for office. This is how we do it. We just boggle your mind and don't make up whatever. Just stop.
One problem at a time, everybody.
Yeah.
One issue and one problem at a time.
I haven't eaten pancakes in a while.
No? Are you a big pancake?
Not since they won't let me get my syrup.
Yeah. Isn't that a sign? Isn't that a kind of a sign that things are a little ridiculous? Like I was watching, they had Smokey and the Bandit on.
Yeah. Oh no!
So of course I started watching it, right? And I watched it. It's a scene where just before he jumps the bridge, you know what I mean? And Jackie Gleason. I mean, you know what I mean? There was that scene where the black sheriff drives into the bridge, out of the bridge. And he comes up, he goes, Sheriff. He goes, I'm Sheriff. He goes, ooh.
Yeah. What's this world coming to?
What's this world coming to? He looked taller. He sounded taller on the radio.
You can't even make movies. You can't say anything anymore.
But even the car had the I guess the Georgia license plate on it, which had the Confederate flag. And of course, they'll never have reruns of the Dukes of Hazzard, where
we'll have to digital it out with like a rainbow flag on the top.
Yeah,
They'll just replace it with a rainbow flag.
It doesn't say General Lee; it says LGBTQ.
Yeah.
The Dukes of Hazzard running around.
And they got that new one now, the $6 Million Man, right? They got it now. It's called the $6 Billion Man. You heard of it?
Yeah.
You didn't? It's a new show. The $6 Billion Man now. Instead of $6 million man, he'd have like a second hand-me-down cart or something at $6 million today. Yeah. It would have to be the $6 billion man. But he's got a gold rack, and he gets HBO on that.
But even then, it's funny. It's like he's not in good shape. He's just a real big fat guy. He's got a $600 chip in his head that makes him know kung fu in 10 seconds.
That's it. He changes the chip. Now he can eat chicken again.
Yeah. He doesn't mind.
Aztec chicken.
Speaking of
Aztec chicken.
You guys are great.
I think Lenny Bruce is rolling over in his grave right now saying, you think I had it tough?
I was able to do a show or a couple shows, and I actually wanted to address it with people because I came out and said, I go, for most of us, we've been doing comedy to a screen, a Zoom camera. But getting to do it in front of people now is a little nerve-wracking because we don't know what's going to piss you off. And you know what? And it's like a tester joke. It's like, look, this is a problem. Let us know. But bottom line is, you just can't anymore. You know what I mean? This is a comedy show. We're here to do this. So let's hopefully we could. I think we'll be good. I think.
Yeah, I did a Zoom show. Actually, kind of right when it happened, maybe in the beginning of April or whatever. And it was like I said midget a couple of times. And then this lady flipped out. Her son is a dwarf, and it was like a whole thing. I was like, really? I go, midget? I go, how is midget is what's, you know what I mean? Come on. That's all I have left. That's all I have left. I don't do black jokes anymore. I don't do, and it was just like she's flipping out. And you can't say midget. It's like the N-word. I go, is it really like the N-word? We were just like.
Definitely not like the N-word. I've never.
Were they persecuted? Like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, there's not 400 years of,
My son was a dwarf.
Because you couldn't ride the teacup ride.
That was great, Dustin, man. Right there.
So mad. He was so mad.
You may have seen that he was in that movie, The Three Kings, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He had some hairy feet.
There you go.
Well, you know what? It may not matter because another little topic of the day is there is an asteroid heading to Earth. And it is.
I hope so. It
would just be great.
Just wipe us out. We don't deserve it, man. We're like, freaking, yeah.
I just wish everybody I didn't like would just happen to be driving down the interstate somewhere in Wyoming when that shit hits.
Every guy that won't book us, just pop, pop.
Yeah. Every asshole that won't answer my email.
Stroop is like, what? Up the highway.
Oh God. Yeah, they say it's the size of a truck, which I think in respect,
that's pretty big, man.
Yeah, well, the one that went over Russia a few years ago, remember that thing that?
Yeah, how big was that one?
I think that was the size of a Miata.
You don't know. You're just making shit up.
They say it's like 6 feet long, this one. They say 6 feet long.
Yeah.
Really?
It ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
They think there's basically a good chance it'll be a nice firework, and who knows. But like you said, you always have those moments where you hope the thing just kind of crashes right on Congress.
Yeah.
But the day before, that's because that's all we need. The day before the election,
but it's so crazy because it's like, remember we used to read, like we used to make fun of like the National Enquirer headlines and stuff. And then now it's like our headlines are like that now. Like the real ones are like those supermarket tabloid, it's just like, what is this? It's all coming to pass. It's ridiculous.
I mentioned it on Facebook that it's not surprising to me that I'm just waiting for the aliens to land.
I wish.
I mean, wouldn't it be, how great would it be if all of a sudden aliens land and they can actually tell superior intelligence and they'd go, everybody get in a fucking line. Everybody, come on, get in a fucking line. And all of a sudden they get in line. Nope. Gone.
They just they take right off. They just see you later.
They just give you a thumbs up or thumbs down.
That's only because they had to land because they couldn't believe the shit they were seeing. They actually had to touch these people and see if they were for real because they don't make any sense. They've been watching us. They said, no, let's go down there. They really can't be that stupid. They landed. They said, yeah, they are. Let's come back in 1,000,000 years.
So
they're always landing in trailer parks for some reason.
Yeah.
So that's part of the problem.
So Vince's theory is that every time the aliens come back, it's like kind of like when you were playing video games, you had to pull the video game out and blow on it to see what was wrong. So the aliens kind of come down here and blow up our ass and put stuff up there. Hey, speaking of putting things up your ass,
nice, well done.
Jerry Falwell Jr.
Oh, jeez.
He was head of the Liberty University for. His father was a well-known minister, right? Falwell, Jerry Falwell, and but this is a great story because this involves someone who's a priest. Now, listen, preachers admit they sin, right? If you're a God-believing, God-fearing person, you admit you sin. Who hasn't? So you don't want to be too. But the guy's expected. But I guess while they were at the Diplomat in Hollywood, I guess he had a place there in Hollywood. There was a young pool boy, a young Hispanic pool boy, named Giancarlo Granda.
This is every 70s porn right here. Keep going.
Which by the way,
that's how they all start.
Giancarlo Granda in Honduran Spanish means big dicky, or big penis. Loose translation.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, it would if it was my name. And basically, at the pool, and Jerry Falwell Jr.'s out there trying to impress Dad while he's out on tour and trying to get all those people to sell him the Bibles, and then his wife is getting, some extra attention, some extra chemicals, and and the best part about the story is the guy finds out, and he likes watching.
I get too jealous. I could never do that.
Yeah,
I get way too jealous. I could never be like, yeah, go do it better than me. No thanks. With the woman I love. No thanks. I'm good.
It seems to be growing, which, by the way, the word of the day is cuckle, which is the expression, I guess, the phrase. Are you familiar with that phrase, Vince?
Cuckle?
Cuckle.
He's played the Cuckle Hut a couple of times.
I saw a couple of guys cuckling on West Hollywood once. But...
Well, over here, Cuckles.
I would love the video of a cuckle, like a comedy video where the guy's wife picks Vince to come home. And I don't know if you're aware. Are you aware what cuckling means? I know, Dustin, you're aware what it means.
I have no idea what cuckling means. Has it got anything to do with my chicken?
I had a best friend of mine from back home in Texas, and he moved to California, and he had a weird neighbor across the street, and he would have my friend come over and have sex with his wife while he watched. It was like the guy was older and the wife was young, and they would have this other younger guy, which is my friend, bang his wife, and he would just sit there and watch. And they ended up getting married. They've been together like 30 years.
What happened to you
guys?
Yeah. She left him and then just went across the street and fucking she's with him 30 years.
Now
they cuckled. There was a whole cuckle thing. Sometimes it works out. Dougie.
They still have the husband watching. Hey, could you bring your ex-husband over to watch? See if he still wants to be. Yeah, I don't. That's a weird. What I mean? Weird. Yeah. Because other people that have the open relationships, which I guess if you are just as equally as good looking or bad looking as your spouse, open relationships can work. But when your spouse is beautiful and she does yoga and she has soft skin and is very attractive and you look like me, then you don't want to be in an open relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like that kid happened
here. Can you tell me what happened here, Mr. Almeida? Yeah, well, the guy kind of rolled over on the knife 17, 18 times. I don't know what happened. It must have been tucked inside the sheets.
Yeah, he asked if I wanted to cuckle. For those who are wondering, a cuckle is a person who gets pleasure from either watching their partners have sex with someone else or just hearing about it. What? Yeah, even hearing about it gets you excited.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
this is like a guy sleeping with another guy's wife for the first time, Doug.
Yeah.
He's like this.
Well, there were some famous.
Hey, over there!
Hey, stop watching me, Bill. I'm trying to bang your wife. I know, but
she's only got two hands. Where is that other hand? I feel.
You got to watch so intently. Joe, stop looking at my dick. Can you look at your wife's ass? Why are you looking at my dick? Oh man, I'm working on a bit right now. It's so funny because I was just reminded there was one of our martial arts instructors that had a habit of picking my wife every time he wanted to get a partner for like rape prevention moves, like ground fighting. I'm like, Instructor Bill, can you rape that? Can you rape Barry? Barry has can you rape Barry? I mean, my wife's pretty good. No, hold on. What do you mean you're going to dim the lights? Why are you getting a bottle of champagne out? This is supposed to be a kung fu class.
They got a hot yoga over here. They open hot yoga.
Yeah.
And they, it's got the rainbow and all the things, and it's the hot rock yoga. And my girl says, I was looking for yoga, and they had this place over here, hot rock yoga. And you look inside, everybody's in their underwear sweating, and there's a guy outside going, just come in. It's the most natural. It's the most natural thing. You sweat, you feel good. Just take your clothes off. Just get in your underwear. Don't worry, just get on the mats.
Yeah. Meanwhile, these are just people that couldn't afford a place with an air conditioning.
They don't even have. They were homeless people.
Which, by the way, you mentioned this hot yoga. Especially these outdoor gigs. There's people that have outdoor gigs in Florida, and somebody asked me if I do it. I go, listen, I sweat enough as it is on stage if there's lights and stuff. So, being in Florida, like you said, you're in somewhere 110 degrees outside. Yeah. I'm gonna. If you do an outdoor gig, you wear shorts, t-shirt.
Yeah, you could. White. We're white. That's classy.
We're white. It's a fucking wedding.
White pants, little linen shirt. We'll dress you. You look good.
Oh my God. Well, that's unbelievable. Well, we talked about New York, whether or not New York and LA will survive. You guys seem to think that's pretty good. You guys don't really give a shit about the asteroid.
What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Just look up, we look up all the time.
They say the worst thing you can do when an asteroid is coming is to look at it directly with your eyes.
Stay indoors. I don't know. What do you do?
Take an umbrella.
I'm not driving a convertible. I'll tell you that. I don't know.
Or a canvas top.
Canvas. There you go.
Even if it hits anywhere, they can't do anything anyway, right? They say it's 6 feet long. Even if it could hit you in your backyard. What's it going to do? No, it's going to wipe out one house. Nothing.
Well, if this doesn't make us scared, if this isn't what we fear, I'll ask you, gentlemen, my guests today, and I'll start with you, Dustin. What are you fearful of in this day and age?
What I'm scared of? After this thing, you really a cough, really, it's like a cough is a new gunshot, you're at a Walmart, you hear somebody hacking in aisle 2.
I know.
But, I've always been flipped out by animals. I respect sharks, I try to, I've been snorkeling and seen some barracudas and sharks and shit. And I guess nature is kind of what I'm fearful of. We saw a bear a couple days ago. There's just, I respect nature. It's not that I'm afraid of them, but I'm more afraid of an animal kind of coming at me than a man, to be honest with you.
Well, it's funny because Vince saw a bear in West Hollywood the other night when he was touring through. Vince,
had a biker hat, yeah.
Gary.
I don't know, animals, I don't know. Sharks, I definitely have a shark phobia, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's funny. We got a great story today, by the way, for our joke right. I don't know if you guys got my outline. We're about to go to that. Vince, a man like yourself, what are you fearful of anything?
I'm afraid of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there on that. I'm afraid of a lot of things. Let's just tell everybody what you're afraid of so they can use it.
Nobody's going to see the bear to me. That's why
what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid that we're going to lose a whole generation of people that before this is over, that don't have a reconciliation with the younger people with so much going on. There's no family unit compassion, like guys take a position on something, but you never ever hurt your friend over his view. You never ever throw the baby out with the bathwater, basically. Everybody has disagreements and everything, but I think that when people start to have a little bit of respect all around, everybody, for everybody, the thing that frightens me is that we're going to have to go through some really bad stuff before they realize how good we really had it.
Yeah, I think that is, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Vince got deep, man. I'm afraid of raccoons. He had some real hard shit.
I know. It's like I'm scared to take colonoscopy. This fucking guy. But no, you listen. I do. I think that's basically the deterioration of society. And when you see the mass shootings, you see gun shootings in schools, you start seeing breaks into these weird things. Like you said, you never thought you would see these stories, and here we are, and we're seeing those stories happen. I'm fearful of that. I'm fearful that at some point I may come to the point that I may have to shoot somebody, because you're in a situation. We had a question. We had a few shows back when everybody was blocking the streets. The question to the guest was, if you're in a car, let's say you carry a gun, let's say you have a gun, and you're in the car with your wife or family, and a bunch of people stop the car in a roadblock, and they start banging on the windows, and they start pouncing, what do you do? You wait till the car gets broken into, and these people mob pull you out. What do you do?
Is that a question or?
Yeah, well, you are security. I would love to hear what your theory. What you do? People are pounding on your car. You have a weapon in your car. Loved ones to protect. People now. A mob is around your car banging, and they're not just whistling and telling you, hey, vote.
I remember in one of my new Cadillacs, a guy jumping onto the hood of my car that was totally out of his mind, drunk. Skinhead kind of dude, tattoos, no shirt, no shoes. His eyes were dilated like this, whatever he was on, him and his buddy. He just decided to point at the car and say he wanted to kill me. He don't even know me. I just had my new Cadillac. I'm on my way out. I'm wearing a suit. I'm on my way to meet some guys down in Hollandale, some of those fellas. I'm all dressed up. And all of a sudden, this thing jumps onto the hood of my new Cadillac and says, I'm going to kill you. I want to tell you, I don't believe that anybody thinks in situations like that, they react. And that guy found that he had wings.
Did he have a Red Bull? Was he drinking Red Bull?
I threw that guy. I just got out of the car in a suit. I grabbed him. He was here. And I remember going, get that off of my car. And I threw him. And he didn't know how to roll like Momo Charlotte know how to fall or roll. He hit the cement, was out cold.
Ooh.
His other buddy come running up, tried to jump the thing. It ended up that a whole bunch of them surrounded the car, and I had to draw a weapon to back it off. But I only had to show that weapon and show the intent to use the weapon to back off several bad guys. Yeah. I never had to discharge my weapon to back them up and get them to do what I needed to do.
Yeah, because the problem is if you do draw the weapon and one does come at you, you have to use it.
Listen, you draw the weapon, you're going to pop the guy. Guy better know it. That thing comes out and you run towards it, you're getting shot. You got to be out of your mind to run towards a guy that's telling you, do not step towards me. Do not come at me. I will put one in your ass.
Yes, turn around. Let
me and just hope they don't have a cell phone. That's really what you're doing.
Shoot the phone.
Video on the whole thing.
Hey man, why is your cell phone shaped like a gun, you idiot?
No, listen, you got no right to threaten anybody in the family at all. You got every right in the world to protect it. So, they go up and they go to these people that have nothing, that can't defend themselves. And you see it all day long, all over. People recording it, posting it. They think it's cute. They think it's funny. They think it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's disgusting. The people that do it, disgusting. The idiots that record it and show it because they think it's cool. It's disgusting. All as I know is a couple of more people get smacked in the mouth for talking shit out of the wrong side of their mouth. You get respect back again. But everybody is at home with their keyboard telling their opinions, We should have like a Rent-A-Vinny. He's like an app. And somebody says some stupid shit on the internet and you punch it up and you go, Rent-A-Vinny. Okay, send them sorry, we can't curse, right?
You're good. Vinny, at least you take this shit to Shark Tank. All right, we're going to the three of us are going to take this to Shark Tank.
A Rent-A-Vinny.
No, and it's kind of like a combination of like Goodfellas and Uber. What we do is
that's it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like somebody has an issue. This guy on Facebook is saying shit about me. Where's he live? And then we send him like a hamburger.
You're not going to go. You open the door and you say, let me ask you a question. How come you only liked my post? You didn't love it. How come you only liked it?
You really want to tell people what they should do and who they should vote for?
Control.
That's right. I think that'd be. We're going to design an app where it's like my Uncle Vinny.
And, there you go.
Yeah, my Uncle Vinny app, which when somebody's bugging you, you want to order, what you do instead of they used to have those like singing grams, like somebody's birthday, you send them a singing gram. Well, now on Facebook, Social Justice Warrior gram, we can send them a Vinny gram. Where if you don't like somebody, just send them. They go there, they start talking, they give them a present and a bitch slap right across the face.
Yeah, it's like a real live meme, but it's in person.
I think we got
it's like a meme act out. Yeah,
I think we got something there.
A hologram with a baseball bat.
There you go,
Brad. If you don't mind, my friend Brad, if you're there, it's time for Joke Right, everybody.
It's a joke, right?
All right. It's time for Joke Right, everybody. This is where our guests are challenged to write the funniest joke or commentary during our top headline segment. The guests will be competing for a completely worthless prize, but get to say they won something in this day of misery. This week's prize is a free year of dental work at We Chisel Dental School. So that's a nice gift. And I don't know if you guys got the outline. I don't know if you guys did much homework on it, but
I tried, but it's awful.
The idea is, hey, these are stories, and we'll do what we can with them, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Here's our first story, and you mentioned sharks. You're scared of sharks, right, Dustin?
Yes. Yeah, they freak me out, man. They're beautiful creatures, but they freak me out.
Yeah, they're survivors. They've been around through the prehistoric period. But a man punches great white shark to save his wife. See, this guy doesn't want anybody banging her. This guy's no cuckler. This guy just, I don't want the shark eating my wife. He says you just react. This wasn't a nurse shark. This wasn't like a lemon shark. This was a great white shark. Man punches him right in the nose.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she must have gave it up to him that morning, because I think my girl, I'm on a dry spell right now, so I think if a shark came at my girl, I'll be like, it'd be a 50-50 situation.
You might just be a cuckler.
Yeah.
Vince, what's that headline inspire you?
The first thing I see is I think about the guy trying to fist a shark, and you can't say the words, so I'll use fist. F. I think he was trying to fist the shark, and the shark got upset and then banged his wife because it was retribution for the fist. I don't know. Is this supposed to be a joke or half a story? I don't know which part we're in.
Why the shark got to be white? How come it's always white?
It's a great white shark, man.
Wait a minute.
Great,
you said black tip shark. I said white tip. He said great white. I mean, what is it? I got the nurses union over here all pissed off. Why don't they have a nurse shark? Because we don't have a nurse shark. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I get hit a lot. Didn't he tell you I'm a jiu-jitsu guy? I get hit a lot.
I like it.
I had a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, it was a birth.
Stop.
My thought was, man punches great white shark because the shark was trying to attack his wife, but it really was the wife's fault because she was wearing a sexy bikini. Man took matters into his own fists when the great white shark attacked his wife while they were out surfing in Australian beach. Well, see, he can't be a pussy because if you're surfing in Australia, you got to be in good shape.
Yeah.
You can't.
So did it work when he hit the shark? Because I've always wondered if that really works.
Yeah. Well,
really?
You know what I mean? You always hear that. You hit the shark in the nose, but you know what I mean? And an underwater punch is not out of the water punch. You know what I mean? It's a lot slower and a lot softer. So
yeah, it's really hard to throw a spinning hook kick in the water.
It happened here. A great white, I didn't want to go off story, but a guy did get bit by a great white shark, came up and bit him. He punched the shark, and it bit his hand off. It just bit his hand off as he punched it. Wait, Then what does he do? He punches it with the other hand. The shark bit both his hands off. The guy's sitting there with 2 pool cues and has got to go another 100 feet into the beach. He's
that guy didn't decide to headbutt him. It's like that scene from In Search of the Holy Grail.
He says, "Can I get a hand?" No, come on, stop.
Well, now I'm going to kick you. Ooh, that wasn't a good idea. Rapley grabbed onto his wife's surfboard and began punching the shark until it let go.
Wow. Well, it's good to know that works.
And the shark filed a complaint with the local police department. When you see you were too aggressive. It was too aggressive of a punching. When you see yeah. Well, good for
it. It was a Karen shark. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That we definitely punched up that story. This is a good story. Berlin brothels reopen after the lockdown. Good for people in Berlin, but they say no sex allowed. So if you're in Berlin, the brothels are open, but no hanky panky.
I don't know if you've ever seen German hookers, but they're doing you a favor.
Yeah, the problem is the brothels are closed. They didn't have any shaving cream. So, there we go. Last time I had sex with a German woman, she was like 9, I guess. How about 6? Yeah. Berlin broth. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What else are you doing? There's like a billiard table.
Can she poop on your chest? They do that there.
Yeah,
right?
That's fine.
Is that legal? Because I'll pay for that.
What are you guys doing in Texas, man?
You've never watched German porn, my friend.
No, I haven't.
Weird shit, man. It's weird stuff.
The cop walks in. What are you doing here? Are you having sex? No, she just shit on my chest. Oh, sorry. Keep it going. Sorry to have bothered you.
I mean, I kind of get it in the sense of quarantine because it's like, the only person I've seen is my girl. So the idea of just hanging out with a different person is, you know what I mean? Like, even if we're not having sex, just to watch Netflix with a different human being would be okay right now in my life.
Your idea in a brothel, what they should do is they should have take away the poles, take away the stages, just have little couches with Netflix playing.
Yeah, I just need another person to talk to. It's not my girlfriend.
Just sit in that
Plus, they're ass eaters.
Just sit in that chair over there and tell me how I didn't take the garbage out today.
Or just tell me I'm funny, Just say that over and over. Yeah.
I love your new album. I love your new album, which we got to talk about. That.
Just say it over and over. That's all I need.
Berlin brothels were allowed to reopen last week after months of closure, and due to the coronavirus restrictions. But full-on sex is still off limits. Instead, clients looking for sexual healing in the German capital will have to make do without erotic massages, and that's another way of saying hand job. Right? I mean, erotic.
Came out with a welding mask and welding gloves on.
That's a German dick you're working with. It's the Lufthansa. And it's not the clients. Yeah, who say here message. Yeah, well, I just went to an open mic the other night, Dustin. You appreciate this, and I just revamped a joke. I just really changed something up, and it gave me. I changed the joke, think it'd be better, and it gave me a better punch.
Nice.
So, and it has to do with Asian massage parlors. So, who doesn't have an Asian massage parlor joke? It's always good when you say, I just came up with a good new Asian massage parlor joke.
It's all right. I got 40 new midget jokes, and there's going to be somebody's going to have a dwarf son, and it's going to be a whole thing again. I know it.
Well, see, that's the good thing about midget jokes. There's not that many around. My buddy Priester does a joke about, did anybody ever grow up with them? They're not around. You don't see them. Like they're fictitious.
They live in trees. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you're in Berlin, bring your own. Make sure you bring your iPad. For pleasure.
Watch the new Rob Schneider special. That's all I want.
Is there nudity or something in that? What? All right.
I just watched it for some reason. That came out of my mouth.
Yeah. Next story. Husband discovers wife's affair after spotting her in the act on Google Maps. Well, that's a story that can just come up with a joke. It writes itself.
Oh, who caught who?
The husband caught the wife.
Oh, okay.
Out of all the luck in the world, the moment you put the man's penis in your mouth, Google Earth is taking a fucking photo from outside the stratosphere.
What was she in, a convertible?
It was an old rag top that fucking that was on a ferry to the water. They rusted away. Oh man. A husband who recognized his wife as she got cozy with another man on a bench on Google Maps later discovered she was having an affair after he confronted her over the image.
Oh, I got the follow-up story. Woman drowns off ferry after getting caught on Zoom by her husband taking it in the kazoo.
Yeah, he pinned her, and then he pinned her. I think I don't know. Some sort of the pin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Google Map. Yeah, I got nothing.
Oddly enough, the guy she was cheating on him with just got back from Germany and was pissed. Because the brothel didn't have any sex for him. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you're going to get caught, you're going to get caught. You know what I'm saying?
Turn your phone off.
Yeah. My wife went away for 2 nights, right? And that male thing in me, that original male thing in me said, I got to do something. I got to do something messed up.
I got to go to Germany.
Yeah, I got strip clubs are closed, right? No strip clubs are. You know, what am I going to do? You know, am I going to go get a whatever? You know, I got to figure. But I was a good guy because I don't want to deal with that aggravation. Just saying, right? Be a good guy. Our next story: 30-year-old stash of beer and gum found in library's mystery section. You know, when you're a kid, you put shit away. Like I know somebody probably found weed in the original house we lived in Margate, Florida.
Margate, Florida.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, my brothers, they'd smoke so much weed, they would hide it behind the paneling. You know, my brothers all punched the walls. So, there'd be those holes in the drywall from your fist. Where
was your house, Doug?
Atlantic Boulevard, just east of Rock Island Road.
Just east of Rock Island Road. Atlantic Boulevard, right? Oh, you were by Randazzo's. You weren't far from Joey. Randazzo's restaurant for years. That's Kimberly.
Yeah. Well, it was in North Lotto, those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy mackerel.
Place. Yeah.
You knew the little general stores.
Yeah. I used to love driving my bike all the way to the little general store to find out the fucking Slurpee machine wasn't working. Right? Yeah, we have all the same people and stuff. But yeah. You know, somebody's stuff, 30 years old stash of beer and gum were found in the library's mystery section.
Hilarious. I mean, nothing says 14-year-old boys more than ham, beer, and Godzilla gum. They also found Bartles and James wine cooler and R2D2 fruit roll-up. I don't know.
That's actually good. It's like a timeline. You know what I'm saying? And right. Next year they'll find a Harry Potter fucking wand.
Exactly.
Right? And some edibles.
Bottle of Boone's Farm Strawberry Fields and a Pompadour.
All right. Now we're rolling, everybody. Here's our story. Well, I already did that one. Sorry. I think it's our last story. Yes.
Is Brad okay? He's still got that weird look on his face. Is he all right?
Greatest comedian of all time.
There you go. California City hunting aggressive turkey that forced the park closure.
I'm sorry, you're talking about the governor again? What did I miss?
You're not a Gavin Newsom fan? Who's
Comrade Newsom? No, he's the greatest. He's the greatest. I got to call him now and see if I can take his shit later.
Am I allowed to flush twice?
Are we allowed to say take?
Yeah, are you not worried for retribution for Antifa in LA coming to get you?
Yeah, I'm really. I was thinking about that, and I haven't slept for about 6 weeks just thinking about those guys from Antifa coming.
Every time
I was working with the special forces.
Every time you see these guys out there with those outfits, you know, don't you just wish you were there? Like, I just wish I was there just to make it fun. Like, to me, it's like, you know, in the old days when you ever play that game War, where you had all like the little green soldiers, or you had like your little soldiers, and your buddy would get a ping pong ball, and you get a ping pong. You'd put all your army men on one side of the room. They'd put all their army men, so you would just sit there and throw the ping pong ball. Mentally, I do that when I watch these protesters. They're violently. Let me make sure this clear. Not the people just standing out there with signs. When I see these people in black wearing, not the black people, when I see the people in black.
Okay, I gotta go. Trying to work again.
Dustin. We lost Dustin, everybody. I'm at the point when it comes to the riots, chaos, bring back the water cannon. Whatever happened to the water cannon, Vince?
That water cannon was good, but you got to remember, we got to conserve water. We got fires. We can't just
wasted water.
Could you imagine somebody in California breaks out the water cannon?
There's no extra water. They're too busy bottling it, giving it to Coca-Cola.
I don't know how anybody could even live in L.A. I mean, New York is one thing because there's chaos and there's crime, and you worry about because of the density of people. But in California, oh my God, man! It's like a slow burning Sodom and Gomorrah.
I live in the town of Burbank, and it's its own town. You know that, and it's got its own department, fire department, its own police, its own everything. And it's a little bit different than just being in L.A. or North Hollywood or any of the areas that LAPD is only going to respond to so much in a certain way. Right. But in Burbank, man, they are on it. They're doing it like they've always done it, All
right. Well, good. I need to move to Burbank.
Burbank's very nice.
Hey, so we don't give a shit about the turkey, right?
This just in, breaking news. Gerald the turkey is slated to speak at the next RNC.
He went political. He went political.
I'm sorry, the screen went black. What was that?
Officials in California.
Get the water cannon. Get the water
Hold on.
Get it.
Don Bongino's calling in.
Don Bongino. Let me tell you something. I want to make sure that you people understand something.
Rent a Vinny.
Well, screw that story. Here's the last story. It's actually a bit Danbury, Connecticut, not too far from where you're at there, Dustin.
I've been there. A lot of VFW shows and firehouses I've played out there.
And Danbury, is it? It's not a metropolis in any way, right?
Connecticut sucks. Pretty much everywhere. It's very milquetoast.
Every time
I don't love it at all. It's all. They're nice people, but it sucks.
It's a little weird. Every time I've been to Connecticut is when I worked for Hartford, and I would go to these insurance meetings, and always,
it's all right.
Everybody knows John Oliver, very funny.
Good comic.
HBO's program. Danbury, Connecticut names sewage plant after John Oliver. I guess
no shit.
Yeah. It says here that John Oliver dumped on the wrong Connecticut town. The British comedian took to the piss out of the Danbury of his HBO show last week, so officials are naming the local sewage plant after him. There you go.
One thing I will say about John Oliver and Trevor Noah and some of those guys, it's kind of funny that they come over here to America and then they're not from here and then they shit on our government. Everything. We couldn't go to London and have a comedy talk show where we just bash their parliament for an hour. You know what I mean? But for some reason, nobody gives a shit. Come over here, be from Australia. Who cares? You can just make fun of us. We don't give a shit. And it's just accepted. And they win Emmys and they're making all this money.
Yeah.
What?
Bastard.
I don't know. It's a lot.
Limey cocksuckers. Listen, like you said, could you picture the three of us doing a show in London right now? Hey, let me tell you,
shitting on the Queen.
Listen, let me tell you something. Your fucking Queen's a whore, okay?
Just shitting on them.
Your Queen's a whore, okay? Let me tell you something. I
wrote a shitty joke. So your town is shitty when your only comeback is naming somebody after your sewage. You know what I mean? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
This was tough. This homework was tough.
Yeah.
I tried though. I gave it a shot.
He had a notebook. God damn it! He had a notebook. I think
Remember
he's
these?
going
Old
to win the
school. I'm old
contest.
school.
Look at him. He's going to win the contest just for application and like he had a notebook. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's bad, right? You say, look, you're making fun of our town. What? We're a shit town. We're a shit town. Well, guess what? We're going to name you after our incredibly popular fucking sewage plant.
Yeah, it's just going to make him bigger. It's just going to get more popular.
Oh, it's horrible. I guess it could be worse. I don't know if there's another place that you would be worse to be named after. Abortion clinic.
Mm.
That'd be bad.
What clinic? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
A place that you would not want to be named after. If somebody's going to name you after something,
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything worse.
You're getting political.
Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I didn't mean to.
I want to be the guy that carves my name in a toilet seat so that everybody that sits down can see the name and say Doug was here or some shit like that. What are they doing? That's fame.
Yeah, I would actually personalize toilet seats for the house. I'm just trying to think about making.
We got at least 3 good Shark Tank ideas on this show.
We
tonight.
did. We didn't get good jokes. But we got good fucking product ideas. We got a personalized toilet. So everybody who comes to your house, they sit on the toilet. It has the engravings of your name and your wife. It's Bill and Susan's house. So when you sit up, you got Bill and Susan's house on your ass. There you go.
You can get cockled.
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. Wonderful's going to like that one, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be good TV though. It's going to be good TV.
Yeah. I can see Mr. Wonderful. I can't see where that would actually last very long. And I'm not going to put my money into something like that. And for that, I'm out.
I'm going to flush that idea.
So you're not a big Mr. Wonderful fan, are you? Yeah. My wife hates him, by the way. She can't stand the look.
The worst.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, that's all we have time for here on the Wake Up Late with Dougie show. I want to thank these gentlemen, Dustin Chafin, for joining us today.
Dustin, funny guy, man.
It's a good time, man. Good time.
Vince Cecere. Now, you have an album coming out. You have a new release.
I'm recording an album on Zoom, believe it or not, because there's nowhere else to do it. So the bar is so low with a lot of these Zoom comedy shows that I've been writing my ass off. And so I figured, you know what? I'm just going to try to do something crazy. I'm going to throw it in the wind and see what happens. So we've got 2 shows. We're doing it September 1st, doing it with Comedy Records, my label. It's going to be called Still Telling People That. It's going to be on Twitch TV, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to kind of be a small RSVP group of people, and I'm going to record it, and then we're going to stream it live on Twitch. And so September 1st, you can hit me at Dustin Zoom Album at Gmail, and I'll give you the link. And it's going to be fun.
Awesome. There you go.
Yeah, try to do something.
Good for you.
Thanks, man.
Vince, anything coming up, sir?
No, I just I just shot a comedy special with me and Steve Simone and Jimmy Schubert, and we just filmed it. And It was on a 4th of July show. They closed everybody. I think the 3rd of July or 2nd of July, Newsom came out and said, everybody closed and you better go home. We're going to start fining everybody. So we defied him and did a 4th of July show, same way the Indians did with the tea in Pearl Harbor. We dumped it. And we
Renovating.
We did a show, and the opening line on the DVD is Conrad Newsom. Salute.